Welcome to 123 Minimize with Jody and Linnea, the podcast where we discuss easy minimalism for busy moms. Whether you're a new mom in need of practical decluttering tips or an experienced parent seeking simplified routines, you've come to the right place. I'm Jody, wife and full-time working mom of 4. In 2017, I founded the Minimalist Mom Facebook group, now with over 270,000 members. My passion is creating a simple, healthy, and happy home where my family can thrive.
I'm Linnea, a homeschooling mom of 4. In 2021, my family and I sold our house, downsized to a 36-foot travel trailer RV, and embraced minimalism. Living with less has been liberating, and I'm thrilled to share tips and experiences to help you simplify your life. Whether you're sitting down, getting stuff done, or lacing up your walking shoes, welcome to the 123 Minimize podcast.
In today's episode, we'll be talking about gifts, so stay tuned for some insights and thought-provoking discussion. So the topic of gifts seems to come up a lot in our Facebook group, Minimalist Mom. People are very passionate about it because gifts, let's start with receiving gifts,
Right.
often is bringing more stuff into your home,
Yeah.
and it might not be stuff that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with that.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever received a gift that you didn't really want?
Yes.
Yes.
I have. Lots of times.
So one thing that has helped me is the gratefulness. Let's say somebody gives me a gift, but it's not really my thing. I'm not going to necessarily wear it or use it for some reason. And I know that. In the past, I would have kept it for years and it would sit in a cupboard and I would I would open it up, the cupboard, and feel guilty. And I would feel bad because I want it.
Right.
It's not their fault that it's not my thing.
Right.
It's on me. This is my problem.
Yes.
So I would feel bad, but now I just take a moment to feel thankful for this gift.
Yes.
And thankful for that person.
Right.
And then I just pass it on,
Right.
donate it or something to someone else who it's going to bring joy to. Somebody else who is looking for this item. Someone else who could benefit from this item.
Right.
I might post it on a buy nothing group. I might give it away.
Yeah.
Donate it.
Right.
And I feel good about that because the gift giver is wanting to show love
Right.
and appreciation or something. And I felt the love and appreciation.
Right.
So the purpose of the gift has been fulfilled.
That's right. That's exactly right. I was just going to say that. Yeah. The gift is not about the intention of the giver wasn't for it to be a burden.
Yeah.
It was for it to be a blessing.
Right.
And a way to show thoughtfulness and kindness and love.
Yeah. So sometimes we've noticed in our large Facebook group, people are very offended when they received gifts. I think that's kind of a theme at the beginning of minimalism.
Right.
How do I get people to stop?
Yeah.
Sometimes the gift giver, that's their love language.
Right.
And so it is hard to get them to stop.
Right.
And maybe then they don't know how to show love.
Yeah.
Maybe this is all they know because of their childhood or something.
Right.
This is how they know to show love. And this is how they feel love.
Right.
And so to kind of close that door, it can be hurtful for relationships in your life.
Right.
So how do you bridge that gap between someone who really wants to give a lot of stuff and what a blessing, first of all.
Right.
To complain about, somebody wants to show love to me through their stuff.
Right.
It's hard, but I do
Right.
totally understand that. I do have a family member that everything was always gifts.
Right.
No other of the ways to show love were done. And so it was gifts or nothing. And so it does bring this level of, they don't know me,
Right.
And so I do understand all of that. But it's still that you have someone in your life who wants to do a certain way of showing their communication
Yes.
with you. And I understand that sometimes gifts can be manipulative. Sometimes gifts can be a way to make you feel guilty. I do understand there's more complex relationships out there, and that's not necessarily the topic that we're touching on. That would have to be for a future podcast where we interview a therapist or something. Yeah. We're just really sticking to more of simple relationships.
Yeah.
So one thing that you could do, especially heading into this holiday season, but this could apply to birthdays, any kind of celebratory times in your life, is to ask for no gifts.
Yeah.
If you feel that won't be received very well by the person, I would probably skip that that one.
Right.
But if you feel it might be received by that person,
Yeah.
maybe you do an activity with them
Yeah.
together. Quality time. That's
Yes.
another way to show love.
Yes. Yeah, making that suggestion to them and just say, hey, can we do something different this year? Why don't we do something together?
Yeah.
Instead of spending money on giving each other things, why don't we buy tickets to go see the Nutcracker together and then
Yes.
go out for dinner afterward?
Yeah.
Have an experience, something together that's quality time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can still, if gift giving is their love language, they can still get that part fulfilled in that.
Right. Buying tickets. Yeah.
Right. Or if it's someone you're really close to, a family member that is receptive to this kind of suggestion, you could maybe suggest just gifts for the kids and not for the adults. Or maybe you could do like a drawing names so that everyone just has one person's name.
Right. Especially with a big family.
Yeah. Or maybe you could see if they would be open to like suggestions, like if you made a wish list.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you could ask for things like gift cards to things that you want instead of items that you wouldn't want to have in your house.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, gift cards to furniture store if you need to replace a couch, or IKEA, Amazon gift cards, grocery store gift cards.
Massage,
All that stuff. There's so much in our life that we need on a consistent basis, especially groceries or clothing. But gift cards can be a really easy way to give someone that so that they can just get what they need.
Right.
And sometimes with friends or family, I've done the no gifts, more of an activity. I have a younger sister who has a day right before me of her birthday. So our birthdays are right next to each other. And so for many years, we're like, let's skip it. Let's just each get ourselves something. And because it's like getting a birthday gift for someone else on your birthday and then getting, just skip it and we'll just treat yourself. And we haven't lived in the same part of the country for a long time. So it does make it easier too. We can't necessarily do something together.
Sure.
Also possibly asking for an experience for your family.
Yeah.
So if you're typically getting a lot of stuff that you don't need that you end up regifting, donating, giving away in a buy nothing group, maybe this year ask for tickets, like you mentioned, or a membership to a children's museum, a science museum, membership to a zoo, or anything else in your area. That can be great because it's that gift that keeps on giving for the entire year.
Right.
So every time you want to do that activity, oh, remember, Grandma gave us this. Oh, yeah, this is so great. We get to go many times. Swimming lessons, horseback riding, music lessons. That can be that's a little bit more expensive, music lessons, but it can be a great gift that has like a lasting benefit.
Oh, and if you live in a part of the world that has really cold winters and your kids go crazy in the winter because they're so full of energy and there's not enough exercise, having something where they can go burn off steam, like an indoor gym or a club.
Right. They have trampoline parks, ninja parks, indoor baseball.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. It can be very helpful.
Yes.
To have a place to go.
Yes.
Also getting a gift of a membership like Amazon Music, Netflix, Prime, Hulu, or even Pimsleur for an educational activity. There's so much out there that can bring a lot of benefit to your family and is a great gift.
Yeah, we have asked the grandparents for money for outings because we are full-time RVers, and this year we are planning to go to Florida, and so there's all kinds of things we want to see down there, activities. So I just send them a list of the places that we want to go, and they can decide if they want to give some money towards that. But we're really looking forward to all those experiences, and it's great because they're quality time together as a family, but they're also super educational for the kids and much more meaningful than any gift. And we really just don't have room for stuff because we live in an RV. There's no room. So the kids get stuff that doesn't fit. It ends up in our storage where they can't get it unless we're home, which is usually in the summer. So it's there's a lot of motivation for the grandparents to comply with our requests, but they're very good about it anyway. So.
Yeah. Right. And then you can go there, take a picture, text it to a grandparent and say, thanks for this wonderful gift. So sometimes I think that is the deterrent is they want to watch the kid open a gift from them. And sometimes if an experience is given, the kid's like, oh, what's this?
Right.
Like, it's not that right away
Yeah.
thing.
It's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if the grandparents live close by, then possibly the experience that they pay for, they can take them to it.
Exactly.
You know, if it's a children's museum. Oh,
right.
And then you have a little like grandparent date.
Yes.
And you get some time
Uh-huh.
off.
Right.
And so it's a win-win.
Win-win for everyone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And a family vacation is another way to have that experience. So some families will have a vacation instead of giving gifts into the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's some time off of work, somewhat large expense sometimes because not everywhere can you camp or in the middle of winter. So typically flights, hotels, resort type fees. So that can be a really nice way to make memories and take time to spend some time with your family away from the house where you always have unending projects and upkeep of the house. So sometimes getting out of the house can be a nice holiday event.
Mm-hmm. Well, and for the whole concern about kids opening a gift and that excitement of that, there's 2 suggestions. One, you can still make it super fun. One year, we booked a party for the kids just with a few friends at an indoor water park.
Oh, yeah.
And 3 of our kids have birthdays in the spring. So we just did a joint party for all 3 of them. And so instead of telling them ahead of time, we just booked it because we knew they'd love it.
Yeah.
And so we had them unwrap. We gave them each a new swimsuit.
Oh, fun.
And I don't know, maybe some like goggles or something, or no, a beach towel. That's what it was. A new swimsuit and a new beach towel. And then the rest of their gift was the experience.
Yeah.
And it was so fun. So they opened it and they're like, oh yeah, cool. And then we told them what we were doing.
Yeah.
And it was like the next day. So it was like super exciting and they were thrilled. So that's when they were younger.
Yeah.
And I've known some friends who would take a trip to Disney and they would wake their kids up at 4 a.m. and having not told them ahead of time. Like, get in the car, we're going to Disney. What?
Yeah.
So this year we decided to see if our kids would be up for going and doing an experience together since we're going to be in a warm place of the country over Christmas. So we found a theme park that was in that area with roller coasters and things. And I just went on YouTube and looked up a video of that to show them. I didn't say anything. I just put the video on, like over lunch one day. They were watching and watching. By the end, they're like, we have to go there. So I was like, well, what do you think about that? What if we went and did that for Christmas instead of opening presents? Physical presents. And they all were like unanimous. Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a good way of presenting it to them. I don't think, because they're older, I don't think they'll be devastated about not opening a bunch of presents. We don't really have anywhere to put them anyway. Last year we did that. We had a bunch of presents and I had to keep them like on my bed during the day and then move them. And it was like 2 weeks of moving presents around until it was time to put them under the tree because otherwise they're in the way.
Right. So let's talk about gift giving. So we've talked about receiving gifts. And my biggest advice is if you are given a gift and people did not stick to any of the parameters or maybe didn't even know about your suggestions, to just accept the gift.
Right.
Say thank you.
Yeah.
And just know that you're going to re-gift it or donate it later.
Right.
And just be grateful to that person because people don't know necessarily or possibly they don't care. And that's okay because we can't control other people. We can only control ourselves.
That's right.
So just kind of maintaining your dignity. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate you feeling that genuine thankfulness towards your friend or family member. But knowing that it doesn't have to become a burden to you. Right. You're in control of your home. You're in control of your life.
Yep.
You can, set a date after the holidays where you're going to take everything, donate it to a shelter. They often have needs at shelters in your area. Give it away in the Buy Nothing group as long as your friends or family aren't in your Buy Nothing group with you, or donate it to a thrift store.
Or re-gift it, maybe.
Or re-gift it. Yeah, absolutely. Because we don't need to tell everybody everything that we do.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily make them feel better.
Right.
And it isn't their problem necessarily.
Right.
So.
And, getting upset with them for giving you something isn't really going to help anything either.
No. Right. So let's talk about gift giving. So now that you're a minimalist, how does gift giving compare to how it used to for you?
Right. Well, I honestly feel like more motivated to give gifts that are fitting with a minimalist lifestyle, even if that person isn't a minimalist.
Right.
If I don't know something specific that they're looking for or want. If I have no idea what they want, if they haven't given me like ideas. The reason is because even if they're not a minimalist necessarily, why do I need to add to any clutter that they have? Especially if I don't know if it's something they're going to use. Then I really would try to stick to things, unless it's just like something I know will be really meaningful to them, or something I'm that they're likely to use. So maybe like something consumable that I know that they like to use. This is a silly little example, but I know that my mom loves Carmex.
Sure.
She has them in every drawer everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I was just looking for something little, I would get that for her. I know she would use it. And
yeah, that's a great one. My husband really likes strong peppermint, like Burt's Bees or something else chapstick, but really strong peppermint. And so definitely around the holidays, I'll get him that. And if it's a really good deal, then I might get him enough for the year.
Why not?
I know he's definitely going to use them.
Right.
And he doesn't like really any other kind. And it's been enough years that I know it will get used. I typically don't give friends as many gifts as I used to. I might take somebody out for dinner and then pay for it, or go to a movie with them. So it's more of that quality time thing.
Right.
Go on a walk. Some friends I do give gifts, but I try to, and it's not about individual friends. It might be about the kind of mood that I'm in, or maybe if they have given me a lot of gifts, and gifts might be more of their love language. So I kind of watch that and see what they value in their life.
Right.
And I'll try to give like sustainable and consumable items. So maybe a homemade beeswax candle, or like a bamboo soap dish with a homemade bar of soap from a boutique, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Handmade, more natural, recyclable type things.
Yep.
So stuff they can just use up.
Right.
Or they can regift it if they want, and I wouldn't have any hard feelings about it at all. But not so much like decor in their house or something where they have to keep and display. I want them to be able to pick their own stuff. Something I do for our nieces and nephews is I either give cash or gift cards.
Yeah.
It's easy. I can pop it in the mail if we're not going to be seeing them around that time of the year.
Right.
And then they can go and pick out what they want.
Right.
And that's, I think, easier for both of us, because it's hard for kids. There are different interests all the time, and it's hard to keep up with it unless they're your own kids.
Yeah. Well, and what kid doesn't want cash?
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Right? Another thing is baked goods. So maybe I'm going to somebody's house in the fall or holiday and, making a loaf of banana bread, wrapping it up in some paper and bringing it to their house. They can serve it. They can eat it. You know what? They can toss it. It's totally up to them once I give it to them. But it kind of shows my time. I feel like homemade stuff is the gift of time.
Right.
Versus purchased items.
Yeah.
But if baking isn't your thing, that's fine too. These are just ideas to make your gift-giving philosophy fit with your budget and with your views about gifts.
Right.
Sometimes when you give gifts in a certain manner of like you give experience and you give your time and you give this or that, people start to reflect that back at you because they see, oh, that's what you want.
Yeah.
And so they start to mirror that. And then, so you really want to make sure the gifts you're giving fits with your philosophy for life.
One thing that I've done for my mother-in-law in the past was I've noticed that she shops with reusable canvas bags. And so I have ordered a bag for her with a picture of my kids on it, so she sees her grandkids' faces every time she shops.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So we've created a PDF that you can find on our website, 123minimize.com, that has gift and experience ideas to help you in your holiday season. This PDF can both help you with giving your friends and family ideas of what gifts your family wants, as well as choosing gifts to give other people. And that's a wrap for today's episode about minimalist gifts. We hope you enjoyed this topic and have found a few tips that might help you on your journey.
We want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our amazing listeners for tuning in. Your support and curiosity are what keeps us going. If you found today's episode valuable, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an opportunity to explore new ideas and perspectives. And if you're inclined, leave us a review, which helps to spread the word to others who might enjoy the journey too. As always, feel free to connect with us on Facebook or Instagram to share your thoughts, suggestions, or just to say hi. Until next time, stay motivated. Take care.